way the boxing business is structured now, fighters are siloed with promoters and networks in a way where sometimes it's hard to make the fights everyone really wants to see. So Vasily Lomachenko, who's considered an otherworldly talent, and guys like Rigondeaux and Walters and undefeated pound-for-pound type fighters quit against him. How do you find, it's hard enough, you know, Mikey Garcia's fighting Errol Spence. How do you find an opponent that people believe can make a big fight, a guy who has a chance to beat Lomachenko, and then Teofimo Lopez shows up and starts knocking everyone out? Yeah. What do you think about an eventual fight with Lomachenko? Do you want one? How soon?
If it happens, it happens. Listen, what we're looking forward to is the world titles. Who has a world title right now? Lomachenko has a world title. Richard Comey has a world title. Mikey Garcia has the world title, but he's at 147 right now. So things like that. We're here to fight the world champions. We're here to win the world titles. It doesn't matter who it is.
But it does matter who it is because Comey is not Lomachenko, right? I mean, that's a different kind of fight. What do you think about Lomachenko?
Lomachenko is, of course, you know, I feel like he does the same thing over and over again when it comes to footwork and moving to the same side. There's 3-4 ways to beat Lomachenko, you know.
What are they?
But I can't say.
You're not giving away the secrets.
No, absolutely not.
How soon do you think you'd be ready to fight him?
I can fight him in April 20th. I can fight him whenever it is.
You want the April date that Comey had to give up because of the hand?
Whatever it is. We don't, listen, at the end of the day, there's no reason to wait a time frame or anything. If you're a true champion, and in order for me to say that I am the best, you have to beat the best, right? Obviously. And I don't see, to be honest, I don't fear no man besides God. I don't respect no man besides my father. So it's all said and done, who is Lomachenko to me?
When you look at Gervonta Davis, do you see a guy, that guy's like me? He and I may have a big fight one day.
I think everybody wants to see that type of fight, you know? Two fighters that are powerful, strong, quick. But is he like me? No, absolutely not. There's so many things that we do differently than Gervonta Davis, but we don't take anything away from the man. He's a world champion, and he's out there doing what he has to do. You know, he's been out for a while now, but now he's coming back. And let's see what he could actually do against tougher competition.
What I'm saying is game recognize game, real recognize real. Do you, as a blue chip talent, look at him and say, there's another blue chip talent or not?
Absolutely not.
You don't see him as a blue chip talent?
I don't see any of these champions as real.
Burchell's fight, his rematch against Vargas, was canceled this weekend. He's considered by some the best 130-pounder in the world. Is Burchell a blue chip talent?
No.
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 Tevin Farmer, a very slick boxer, not a lot of power, but he's won a belt. He's made title defense. What about Tevin Farmer, 130-pounder?
These guys are all, they've paved the way, you know, don't get me wrong, but there are so many flaws that these fighters do have. You know,
like what?
And Tevin Farmer is a fighter that does a lot of defense but doesn't do offense along with it. It takes him a while before that, you know?
Okay, Heisman night.
Yeah.
You're in the ring with Mason Menard.
Mm-hmm.
You knock him out sensationally. Then what happens?
Me and Carl Moretti, we talked from Top Rank, and we pulled out the jersey, Kyler Murray jersey, and we did the Heisman Trophy.
Why'd you do
the pose. Why? Why not? The best opportunity, the best time to do it, especially on ESPN, the platform. It's just from that night, the Heisman, right there, the next thing tuning in was Teofimo Lopez watching his fight, and that's what we did.
Okay, now everyone had a lot of fun with the Menard celebration, but then in your next fight against Magdaleno on our air very recently, you scored a sensational knockout against a guy who's hard to do that against. And spotlight's on you again, and then there was some extracurricular activity in terms of your celebration right after the knockout. Usually we see a fighter prone, his opponent tends to him or shows concern. You made a different kind of gesture. First, what is it that you did?
Well, look, I always give respect to all the fighters after the fight is over and everything. And once we know that we won the fight, it was just the heat of the moment. You know, I did something on top of my celebration. Usually I always finish with my backflip. And I did something a little extra due to the heat of the moment.
What was the extra? What was it?
People say home run. People say a shovel, things like that.
What do you say?
I say whatever we can say it's a home run.
Why did you do it?
Why? Due to personal reasons.
I mentioned him on the air last week. He insulted, you felt your Honduran heritage.
Yeah.
What did he say? How was that brought to your attention?
A guy named Ernesto Amador, he interviewed Diego Magdaleno, and he actually was laughing during the time that Magdaleno said what he said. He said that the Hondurans are no good in soccer or boxing, and that he's going to prove to everybody when it comes down to fighting Teofimo Lopez and things like that, and just degrading a country that's already that doesn't really have hope like that. You know, Teofimo Lopez is trying to hope and bring out, you know, a name for Honduras and the Hondurans.
So you felt it crossed some kind of personal line?
Absolutely. My parents were upset. They actually woke me up in the middle of the night in my sleep, and they were just showing me the video. Usually I don't go into those things, but seeing them that they were upset and everything, that turned out to be a different type of a personal.
Now, I mentioned on that broadcast, and others have since mentioned right away, hey, we don't like that. That seems unsportsmanlike. And you said right after the fight, look, now more people are paying attention to me. And I said, that may be, and you may make more money that way, but I just still don't think that's a good excuse to behave that way. What's your feeling about that now?
I'm not here to be the bad guy. No, absolutely not. You know, if you actually look back at it, in the fight, after everything, when they were about to raise my hand, we went and we hugged. You know, I mean, his team still wanted to fight us and things like that. But when it's all said and done, I'm always going to be a sportsman type of fighter. I'm always going to respect the fighter afterwards. But things, it was a heat of the moment. Things were said. I never crossed that line when it comes to talking smack. I'll talk smack to a fighter, but I'll never cross the line of talking about family.
Teofimo, thanks for coming on the show. Good talking to you. Look forward to your next fight and many more.
Thank you. It's a takeover. Let's get it.